Okay, just made it back from the Indian Hospital over in Ada, Oklahoma. I had to take myself and my son Brandon over there. They're keeping Brandon overnight at least. He's got low oxygen. The COVID is kicking his posterior. So I'll go get him tomorrow if they let him come home. He's probably going to have to file for disability and not work. It damaged his lungs. He can't get air. My son Chris can't get air either. I'm full of hot air. You don't believe me, just ask me. I saw my cancer doctor. I don't have cancer in my system anywhere. But I told him something, that there's a mole that Linda was worried about, and he said, well, it's benign. And I said, I know. You want me to cut it out or leave it? If I cut it out, I'll have to give you a couple of stitches, and you'd have to come back next week. And I said, well, I cut my own stitches out of my face. Well, we don't encourage that. And I said, all you got to do is cut them and pull them out from one side so some don't get left in. How'd you know that? And I said, I'm not stupid. I watch YouTube. Anyway, the doctor and I have known each other for a long time, Dr. Roach, Chris Roach. But I told him a story from my youth, and I told Linda she'd have to watch it on a vlog when I post it. When I was about 9 years old, okay, let me back up a little bit. My grandfather on my mother's side, Virgil Lance, was a preacher. He had a cousin named R.D. Yoakum that was a preacher. My family still has their own church in Ringling, Oklahoma. Like Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus, that was their winter camp ground right there originally. Carson and Barnes Circus, their winter headquarters are over in Hugo, Oklahoma. A lot of these circuses used Oklahoma as headquarters. Anyway, I had a cousin, my late cousin Lanny McGowan, and we were always getting in trouble. They had children's church Sunday mornings over there, and we always got stood in the corner or spanked because we couldn't help it. We were ornery, whatever way you're going to pronounce it. But, and so on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, they would encourage you not to bring your children on Wednesday nights because it's too disruptive. And on Sunday nights, because my mother and her sister Colleen Grant were long-suffering, but they weren't that long-suffering, they sent Lanny and me, up in the front so that we would get an education, like it was going to make a difference in our lives if we were right up there on the front row. And we were snickering. Well, here's the deal. R.D. Yoakum was covered in moles. I mean, all over. He had black ones, brown ones, red ones, flesh-colored ones, all over his face, all over his body. And Lanny was snickering, and his mom, what do you think's funny? Because R.D. had just walked up to the pulpit. He was getting ready to preach. And he elbows me and says, you tell him, cuz. And I looked at my Aunt Colleen, and I told her, all I said was, here comes the holy moly. This is way before Larry the Cable Guy ever, and I'm not saying he got it from me, he didn't, but this is a true story. His was just funny. But anyway, the church back then didn't have air conditioning, central heat or air, and sometimes we worshiped by oil lamp, kerosene lamps. They'd And on this particular night, the electricity was on. But my grandpa and all those that ran that church, they would make sure that people in the congregation had something to eat before they would turn the lights on. In other words, turn the electricity back on. Well, this was in the summer, and they'd open all the windows, and there were two things they would have. They'd have this fan. It was a cardboard fan with what looked like a giant popsicle stick down it so that you could fan yourself. And usually they were given from a funeral home or a dry goods store to the church. And the other thing that they had were fly swatters. Well, when I said, there's the holy moly, my mother whacked me on the head with the fly swatter. And back then, they didn't have plastic handle fly swatters. They had what many of them have now, a wire handle. And she whacked me right over the head. It raised welts, but ow! And my Aunt Colleen hit Lanny on the top of his head with one of those fans, and he chuckled. So then she got the fly swatter and whacked him real good, and he goes, ow! I was like 9 and Lanny was like 10. Excuse me. But that's a story from my past. And I've been a troublemaker ever since. I try not to be, and I'm having problems in my old age not being a troublemaker. I called my buddy Jerry, and I couldn't get through, so he called me back. And he said, where are you? What are you doing? I said, I'm in the waiting room at the Indian hospital waiting to see my cancer doctor. And he asked me, he said, well, can they do something about how ugly you are? And I said, no, I'm stuck with it the rest of my life. He and I harass each other all the time. He and his wife are headed back to Oklahoma on a slow, circuitous route. What I was trying to call him about, there was a Weather Channel. Okay, the waiting room, that hospital over in Ada, Native American Health Services, is huge, and it is expensive, and it is really nice. And in every waiting area, they have these big screen televisions. Well, this one had the Weather Channel on, and they were showing storms all through Florida. And I was a little worried about Jerry and Diane getting back safely, but they're okay. He was driving when he called me. He said, I saw it ring, but I couldn't get it. It was in the floor. Said, I'm pointing out alligators to Diane. They're all in the ditches down here. And I said, yeah. Said, they got guardrails along the highway so that you can't get eaten by an alligator, I think. And I said, Jerry, there's also a lot of accidents that happen that gators will come up at night and they'll cross the road and people will hit them and wreck. I told him I've got a lot of friends in Florida, one of which is a guy named Robert Arrington, and he's got a channel called Deer Meat for Dinner, and he's on a trip too. He's pulling a big, huge trailer behind a 1 ton or 1.5 ton F450 Ford diesel. He posted on Instagram he was complaining about the high cost of diesel. And I understand it was like $6.89 where he was filling up. I don't know where that was, but it's bad enough just getting gasoline. But I told Jerry, Robert he's coming through Oklahoma, and he wanted to know if there was any place that had RV parks and hunting and fishing. So I said, yeah, come on, Bubba, I'll show you around. My best friend's got several. Got like 3 RV camps, one of which is right next to the river, and you can go fishing there. But anyway, and I told Jerry that I got Linda's front end rebuilt. Nick rebuilt the front end, and then I had it aligned. And all we got to do is get tires on it. So next week or the week after, Benjamin, his car's running. If he gets feeling better, then it will be fine for Linda and I to disappear for a couple of days, probably around the first of the month. Um, and I actually mean that. Load her up and go somewhere, at least 2 days, maybe 3, just she and I. Um, find some place to go and enjoy it. We've not got to do that. We did it a couple of times when years ago we went out, took a bus out to California and drove someone back with all their worldly goods. That's not a vacation. I want she and I to do something like drive over to Lawton, see Mount Scott, find a good motel room, and stay overnight. The big problem with that are bed bugs, but I'm going to do a review and make sure. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter if it is a high-end motel or hotel. They all have bed bugs. I just want to find one that doesn't. Jerry did tell me that he got chased out of Key West. And I said, what'd you do? And he said, no camping. Pulled in to go camping, and they said, no, you can't camp here. He's in a really nice 1-ton Mercedes-Benz RV, and they probably just went somewhere and slept in it. But the problem is Jerry's 6'2", and he can't, the bed goes this way rather than fore and aft, it goes starboard port. He can't, or right and left. He can't sleep that way because he's too long and he can't curl up. And so I don't know what they did. I'll find out all about it when he gets back. He'll be wanting to come by here and harass me, which I'll let him. I got the only kind of herbal tea they had at Walmart yesterday, and Linda doesn't like it, and I'm not sure anybody else does. So after I do this vlog, I'm probably going to go to Sooners and get, it's a food store, and get another 12-pack and see if they've got better herbal tea there. I don't know. I'll find out. But that's the extent of all the high adventure I've been up today. It's 3:17 in the afternoon. I took Brandon early. I had an appointment at 2 o'clock. I was out of that doctor's office by 1:15. And then I waited for Bo, and then I started heading back when he texted me that they're keeping him overnight. Like I told somebody, I think it might have been Linda, they get paid 3 or 4 different ways on me. Social Security, VA, other insurance I've got, Indian health care, and they bill all of them. They triple and quadruple bill on me. I'm kind of like the poster child for extra income for them. So they always try to make sure I stay alive, you know. And they ask all these questions when you go in there and you sign your name and fill out paperwork. I hadn't done it this year yet, so they made me redo it all. And that's fine, I don't care. They take pretty good care of me for what it is. But like I explained to Linda, she wants me, and I would like to change over to Mercy Health System, but Social Security will give me reduced amount on my medication, but the medication they have me on would cost me $3,500 to $4,000 a month. That's how many I'm on. I'm now on 41 pills a day. And I'm just, to be blunt about it, that would really hit us in the wallet if I had to buy my own medication, and I'm just not I prefer to let the Bureau of Indian Affairs buy it. I'm not being cheap, and I don't mind paying my own way. But a lot of what's wrong with me is not of my doing. A lot of it is, but some of it, if not most of it, is just due to circumstance. Now, tomorrow, I intend to get the van done. I'll probably have to run over and get Brandon from the hospital, which is fine. But I intend to get that van to where I need it tomorrow. I checked. I don't have the van keys with me right now. I've got the other car keys. But 3 of the doors on that lock, and I can lock it and unlock it with the key that I have for it. And then the driver's side door, there's no way it's ever going to function like an actual door again. It's just too far gone, too much damage to it. I want to get all the mechanical done, then I'm going to cut the rust, sand real hard, and backfill, and do a little primer and paint on that to kill the rust so it's not going to rust holes in it. Well, that's about all. I haven't even been on the computer today. I don't know what's going on in Ukraine. You know more about it than I do today. I came out here, and I'm going to load this up, and then I probably won't go get tea today, maybe in the morning, but I am going to go back in the house. I've got my lounge lizard clothes on. I got tennis shoes and a pair of shorts underneath this t-shirt. But anyway, Mom and John, I love you. I hope you're doing well. I really do. I'm still praying for you. My brother Michael up in Oklahoma City, I love you. I'm still praying for you. My sister Randy up in Edmond, Oklahoma, I love you. I'm still praying for you and your husband. I hope life's treating you well. My buddy Chris Kimball in Florida, Kimball. It always says Campbell on here. Linda gets on me all the time. I purposely mispronounce words when I'm playing video games. Like, I'll call binoculars, binoculars, and stuff like that. But anyway, Chris, I hope you're safe. I did see, like I said earlier in the vlog, saying there were storms in Florida, so stay safe, brother. I mean, don't get hurt. You've lived there your whole life except for when you're in the Army, so you understand what to do. To my buddy Monty Jones in Lone Grove, Oklahoma, you stay safe. I hope your life is interesting and you're happy. To Shelly Dion in Illinois, I'm still praying for your mother. I won't quit. And I hope she's doing better, and I hope you're doing well. To my buddy David Talaga in Illinois, I hope you're doing better. That virus is rough. I mean, it really is. It's still affecting me. I'll give you, for instance, David, this morning I took my bath so I'd be clean when I went to the doctor. And while I was in there, my hearing suddenly cleared up. And before I could get in the tub, it clogged up again. That's what happens. But it is improving daily. A lot of prayer and other things go into that. To my friend Jackie Brill, Sands in Tennessee, I hope you and yours are doing well. I'm praying for you. And to a few other folks that watch this, I love you and I hope you're doing well. God bless all of you, and I mean that. I love all of you, and I mean that. And like that says there, be kind. Hey, Right now, more than ever in the history of this planet, we need to be kind. Bye.